Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is a realtor based near Yosemite National Park who specializes in serving vacation rental investors. With a background in high tech before moving into real estate in 2021, he now owns 3 Airbnbs, 2 locally and 1 in San Antonio, Texas, and shares his expertise on the YouTube channel Yosemite Area STR Investors. Please welcome Lenny Sharp. Lenny, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dylan.
It's a pleasure to have you on here, Lenny. I always like to start off at the top by asking folks, how did you get into the real estate space?
Well, maybe like a lot of people, my wife suggested I get my real estate license, and I'm not quite sure what her motivation was, but she thought that I would be good at it. And, I think I've done pretty well, but I've done much better now that I've kind of found my niche, because as I tell you, new agents all the time, it's like you really have to think about, what is it that you can do better than anybody else in your market, right? There's tons of agents, lots of experience, but you have to set yourself apart. And I mean, basically that's what's happened. The combination of experiences in my life, being an Airbnb host, getting into real estate, immediately helping friends and, that wanted to invest up here. Like, this just quickly became my thing. And so here I am.
What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Were you an Airbnb investor first, or were you the realtor first?
I was an investor first. So we moved up here near Yosemite in 2016 after 4 years living in Japan. And we literally found a house and paid $100,000 more than we planned on spending, because it already had an Airbnb in the ground floor apartment. There were many months during that first year that the Airbnb income basically paid our mortgage. So, for us, it was like, yeah, this works. And anytime we want to have family in, we just block it and everybody can show up. It's only my wife and I in a 3,200 square foot home. So we've got plenty of space. We even experimented for a while with a second space in our home, but now my wife has taken that over as her full-time art studio. Lost that income, but happy wife, happy life.
Right.
But yeah, so we got into it that way. We had a good experience. Then we bought a second home while I still had a W-2 job and could qualify for a mortgage. Bought a second home in Mariposa, which is also in our market. That's done quite well. Then I ended up buying another home in San Antonio, Texas. But like somewhere along that line, as we were going through our investing journey, I got my license and began helping other investors.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
You know, it's funny because my mother is half Japanese. Both my parents speak Japanese. My dad, I feel like, spent half of my childhood in Japan. I just came up to Dallas from San Antonio. I lived in San Antonio for 5 years before moving up to Dallas. So look at this connection, right?
Meant to be. I'm so glad we met through this. And by the way, have you been to Japan?
I have not. Can you believe that?
You gotta go. I mean, it's so good. Yeah, I mean, unless you don't like clean streets, safe to walk at night, beautiful views, wonderful food. If you don't like any of that stuff, then don't go. I mean, it's awesome. You really need to go.
So you must speak some decent Japanese. I mean, you have to, right?
Skoshi wakarimasu. That means just a little bit. And no, I don't. I was not a very poor student. They supplied me with a language teacher, but because the office I worked in, everybody spoke English. I was a little bit lazy, but my wife, she worked harder at it and speaks better Japanese than I do.
Does the population there speak English, or is it really hit and miss?
Urban areas, definitely you're going to find enough people that speak English. Sometimes you get out in the rural areas and you might have difficulty, but generally speaking, they all have to take English in school, so you can definitely get around.
I'm curious about, this is maybe off the beaten path conversation here, but what is real estate like in Japan? Does it have kind of the same market pressures that we have here? Do properties appreciate over there?
It's a little weird. I mean, I don't know that much about it, honestly, but the one thing that is odd is that you'll see perfectly good buildings being demolished and they build a new one. So like real estate effectively depreciates in Japan, like other assets. And then they, I guess, to keep their construction industry going, they tear down the building and build a new one. So like I said, when we were there, we saw lots of, commercial buildings, residences, unless they were historically important, they have no problem tearing down a perfectly good building and building another one.
I also have another granular Japan question. If I wanted to eat sashimi don, right, which here would cost $28, $32, is it the same over there in US dollars, or is it maybe a little bit more cost effective?
Well, last time we went was a little over a year ago, and the exchange rate was really good, so that helped. But I would say, yeah, I mean, again, get out of the tourist areas. You can find, I mean, it's very reasonable. If you go to the right places, it's very reasonable. Everything, food, lodging, everything. And they have Airbnbs in Japan. They work out pretty well.
It's big over there, right? One of the things, so this is a funny conversation. So I'm going to be doing some geo arbitrage of my life here in a bit. I don't know if this podcast will air by the time that I would have left, but I'm actually moving to Santo Domingo, which is capital of DR, Dominican Republic. And one of the big reasons is just the geo arbitrage element of it. So US dollar goes so much further out there. And then you can get, the place I'm going to be staying in is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, 1.5 miles from the ocean with a balcony, right? And for the full year, it's $3,400 for the full year.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
It's 2 bedrooms, so I can come join you. Let me know.
You absolutely can. Honestly, Lenny, so one of the things that they have over there, which we don't have over here, I've actually asked some guests of the show who are involved in commercial residential new construction builds. So over in the Dominican Republic, they'll have new build high-rise apartments or condos, or they even just call them penthouses, where you can put a down payment on it and then finance it over time. And maybe it's not built yet, but maybe it takes 2 years to build. And that's how they're financing the build, but then also how they're finding tenants. So I don't even know how much credit even comes into play there. It may be, and I don't know, I need to do more due diligence on it, but I spoke with a realtor who told me, yeah, if you've got 15 to 20% down and then you make monthly payments, you can end up buying, $100,000 US dollar condo, 2 miles from the ocean that way.
Well, I'm having a good real estate year. So after you get down there and figure out all the numbers, let me know. Maybe I'm going to buy a condo down there.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
But I want to ask you about traveling because you've been. I mean, Yosemite is an amazing, amazing destination. I've been there once when I was a young kid. I don't really have a lot of recollection of it. I'm 31 years old now, and I've traveled Australia, Latin America, some areas, but I really need to do more of that. I really need to do more of that. But I think travel is one of the things that has really expanded my perspective so much, and actually one of the reasons probably why I'm so passionate about real estate. Has it had any kind of a similar impact on you?
Well, I mean, I think so. In fact, living in Japan, we basically had lots of friends and family come out of the woodwork that wanted to come visit us, right? So we effectively became, hosts in Japan, met new people. I mean, literally met somebody on a cruise from Australia that we let stay in our apartment one night. So, like I would say that kind of scratched that itch for us and got us thinking about hosting. And it was all related to travel and meeting fellow travelers. So yeah, I believe that's true, and I believe that. And again, one of the things I tell my investors is, investment, dollars and cents, return on investment, all that, that's great. But if you don't feel like you have some element of like the gift of hospitality and
Yes.
like that, then don't buy a vacation rental, because
Yeah,
at the end of the
100%.
day, the problems will outweigh, the return on investment, and you literally have to be able to either meet the people or read their reviews or communicate with them and feel like, hey, I'm making the world a little better place because I'm creating this great spot for people to come. And so that has to be part of the equation. And just one other aside that ties together vacation rental and travel. So we had a couple from Germany literally stay at our Airbnb at our house for their honeymoon. We hung out on the deck with them. We drank wine. We ended up traveling to Germany and hanging out with them. They didn't have a place we could stay, but like we made these like lifetime friends through vacation rental. And then we literally found out that they were pregnant before their family did. I mean, we got the ultrasound. I mean, so my point is something that can seem like a transaction or like a very casual kind of interaction can actually become something. I mean, we stayed at another Airbnb in France, and we went and watched him play live at the bar, and then when he came to the States, he came and we let him stay at our place for free because we built a relationship. Yeah, I think unlike other investments, short-term rental investing can create something within you that actually will make your life much richer. And that's why I recommend it.
One of the interesting things, you hit the nail on the head. I had a guest who told me, you would think that it'd be obvious that if you're going to do Airbnb hosting, that you have to like Airbnb hosting. But there's a lot of people, he said, who get into Airbnb hosting and don't like it, and then they might not make money doing it. And it's because you actually have to like being a host. You have to go in liking hosting. If you don't like being an Airbnb host or a VRBO host or whichever platform you're using, it's going to be grating on you, and then it's going to wear you out, right? So you actually have to like being a host.
Even know what it's like to host on that platform, but there has to be something in you that likes to provide a place for people to stay. And then that can kind of go from there. And then you get into the specifics of the platform or Airbnb or whatever.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But I definitely, I see that a lot. And quite frankly, some of that are that being buyer investors that turn into listings because they decide it's not for them. And, and that happens, and everybody's got to kind of find their own way. But I really, like I said, I encourage them to look deep within themselves and ask them if they really like the idea of doing that, even if they haven't done that before. And the other thing, and I'll just kind of touch on this, one of my sort of taglines, advertising kind of positioning, is this concept of free mountain getaway. So it's like, okay, I'm not focused on necessarily the maximum cash on cash returns. What I want is a home near Yosemite that I can use anytime I want with my family, and it will pay for itself, making it free to me. And I'm telling you, those are my absolute favorite clients because, number one, maybe their investment expectations are maybe tempered and maybe a little more realistic. They love the idea of staying themselves, and they're going to use it themselves, right? And then they also choose a home they want to stay in. And then because they use it themselves, all those little annoying things, like they don't see it as, oh, I just have to spend this money for these guests that I don't care about. They're like, oh, we buy that new barbecue and we're going to love it when we're at the house. And guess what? All the guests get to enjoy that new barbecue as well.
That
or the
is
hot
exactly
tub,
right.
or the game room or whatever. So, I mean, that's really like, that's how I would like to see a lot of my clients see this opportunity is you can get a home that you can use anytime and it will pay for itself. I mean, that's awesome. And by the way, it's going to appreciate and you're going to have, wealth building for the future.
I feel that I'm sure you must feel super passionate about Yosemite, and I feel the same level of passion about like Dominican Republic Airbnbs, which by the way, Latin America Airbnb, short-term rentals in general are huge. Huge. Probably you saw a similar thing happening in Japan as well. Like as big as it is here, it felt even bigger over there. And I couldn't believe it, right? I was like, man, this feels like there's a ton of Airbnbs here. And sure enough, it is. I wanna pivot a bit here though, Lenny, and ask you about folks who may be looking at areas of the country and they're thinking about maybe a Yosemite, but they might be thinking about, something on the complete opposite side. They may be looking at the Carolinas or like, Vermont and other areas, and they're thinking, where do I go? What makes someone drawn to Yosemite, and then who's kind of the person who goes and buys in Yosemite?
I mean, like I said, I think it starts with like, where do you like to go? So, we tend to get hikers. I mean, like a lot of our guests, they're literally up and out 6 a.m. We don't see them till night. I mean, so I think that there's got to be that sort of love of the nature and outdoors. So I think that's a big part of it. And again, I think the concept of like buy where you like to go, and that's probably going to work out. But I'd say also, and I get this question a lot, like, what about saturation? Is the market too saturated? Are there too many Airbnbs? But, I think that, you start with like the market. I mean, 4 million people come to Yosemite every year. So, and by the way, there's not that many places to stay inside Yosemite, and it's crazy expensive. So they immediately start looking outside the park. Where can we stay that's a nice house, reasonably priced, and get to the park? So we have a sort of a baseline of a ton of people. And then we have these communities that are quite affordable. I mean, our median home price here is probably about $450,000. And I'd say the average Airbnb does probably, 60 or 70,000 a year, an extra 15,000 if you add a hot tub. I mean,
Yeah.
So like the numbers work out. So there's a baseline that makes sense. The numbers work out, and then you just make sure that you're tweaking your particular property in such a way, with the photos, with the amenities, that you just rise to the top. And if you're in the top 20% of this market, you're going to be successful. And we could bring on another 1,000 or 2,000 Airbnbs, and just don't be in the bottom half and you'll do fine.
I tell people that I'm moving to Dominican Republic. I'm in Dallas right now, or DFW area. I really like it over here. I like Texas in general, but I've had so many investors on the show from Florida and from South Florida and then the west coast of Florida, people from all over, people from Wisconsin that relocated to Florida, and Idaho who are snowbirding in Florida, and New York and northern New Jersey, where I'm originally from, in Florida. And I said, man, there's something in the water in Florida because all these real estate investors go down there. What is it? And I've been through Fort Lauderdale now like 5 times in the last 10 months. And I'm like, I get it now. Like, this is amazing. It's like this year round. Just have to dodge a hurricane every now and then. But then I speak to, folks like yourself. I get the Lenny Sharp in the Yosemite area. Now I'm thinking, now I got to go look at Yosemite. I got another place that's on the map now. It's so hard to decide at this point.
I mean, it's beautiful. And I tell you, go back to Yosemite as an adult now, and you're just going to be blown away because as a kid, you probably didn't appreciate it. I mean, it's breathtaking. I just went on a hike this Sunday, and the one thing that still amazes me, like, Yosemite is a place you can walk around and literally walk off a cliff and fall 3,000 feet, right? There's no safety rails. And so there's something attractive about that. It's like I think it taps something deep within us that, like, I'm going to go to this place that's gorgeous and it's still wild, right? I got to be careful, I got to pay attention. But I think there's something about that attracts people, right? This isn't, prescribed, controlled, you're in a crowd with railing and safe, it's like you can go, it's thousands and thousands of acres and you can just explore and see amazing sights. And we were on a hike that literally it's like not on any of the hiking trail apps. Like, we were blazing our own trail and we got to a point where we were seeing stuff that most people don't see. And that's remarkable. It adds to the experience.
That is attractive to me. I definitely understand that. It's like, well, worst thing that happens is we fall off a cliff, but the best case scenario is we get to see the cliff, we walk straight through it, we get life without guardrails, and, it's so much incredible immersion into the otherwise digital world, right?
Yeah. So the best place to go is just go to sharpmountainhomes.com. I've got links to kind of all my content. I've got a link to my free mountain getaway website as well. And then links to my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel, it's long form. The YouTube videos that I post are sometimes 20, 30, 40 minutes long, but they're really designed to be educational. So it's, Yosemite Area STR Investors channel at YouTube. And I talk about the different areas. I talk about the revenue expectations, the amenities that will work. I tour homes. I present, potential properties for investment. I talk about regulations, which are obviously something you have to pay attention to. So yeah, those are the spots. If you just start with sharpmountainhomes.com, you can find me, but yeah, reach out. I just love what I do. I love helping people and it's working out.
Lenny, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Okay. Thanks, Dylan. Great to meet you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.